In the xy plane, the graph of 2x squared plus 6x minus 2y squared plus 2y equals 45 is a circle. What is the radius of that circle? So when you look at this equation given to us, it's given what's called the general form of an equation. And you cannot tell the radius of a circle by looking at the general form. To be able to find the radius, we want to convert this from general form to standard form. And here's what the standard form of a circle looks like. We're going to need to have x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, where the radius is, of course, on the right side, and we can find it by square rooting that number that's on the right side over here. And just for those who are curious, to find the center, which is not the question this time, but just in case this shows up again, you simply take the value of h, change the sign of it, and the value of k, change the sign of it. That would be your center. However, that's not the question. This question focuses on finding the radius. So then we have to take the equation given to us from general form to standard form. Let's do that. Here's how you do it. You have 2x squared minus 6x plus 2y squared plus 2y equals 45. Step 1 is usually to move the constant to the right side. Well, in this case, the constant has already been moved for us, so we don't need to do that ourselves. Second thing is look for a greatest common factor. When you compare all the numbers on the left, you see that they have a greatest common factor of 2, which we can factor out. So let's pull out a 2. That leaves us with x squared minus 3x. Now notice, I'm going to leave a blank space right here. Plus, we have y squared plus y, and again I'm going to leave a blank here, equals 45, which is still on the right side. And to keep things in balance, since we left blanks on the left side, we have to leave those same blanks on the right side also. So plus blank plus blank. So for those who may recall, what we are doing here is what's called completing the square. We have two quadratic equations that we are trying to factor. So to fill in those blanks that we left, we always use a tiny formula, which is b over 2 squared. Well, for the first one, the x equation, the b value is -3, so that would be -3 over 2 squared, which ends up being 9/4, or as a decimal, that is 2.25. In the other one, the b value is a 1, so it would be 1 over 2 squared, which is 1/4, also known as 0.25 as a decimal. Now, whatever you do on the left side, you have to do on the right side also. But be very careful. Since you factored out a 2, what you're plugging in here has to be doubled. So 2 times 2.25 will become 4.5. And then that same 2 times 0.25 will become 0.5. So now, with that said, we can actually add the numbers on the right side. Since you're focusing on radius, that would be 45 plus 4.5 plus 0.5, which is actually 50. And then we still have the 2 on the outside. Now remember, once you complete the square, your trinomial factors really nicely. So this becomes x minus 1.5 to the second. This is not important for this problem, but we're just finishing it anyway. And then, of course, we have the y plus 0.05 squared equals 50. So remember, this whole thing has a 2 that's on the outside of it because we factored the 2 at the beginning. And we can divide everything by 2 as shown. So these 2's cancel, and on the right side we'll have a 25. Let's just focus on the right side because that's what the question really wants. So since we know the right side is 25, remember the equation says the right side is r squared. So to find r, you simply square root. So r squared happens to be 25. So we're going to square root both sides, and we found that the radius ends up being 5. So that makes A the answer to this question.